Hey there, guys. Welcome back to Star Research. For today, I have Mitch Hallock here, the creator of TerrifiCON, with me today.
Yeah, that's me. How are you?
Pretty good. Although today is unfortunately a bit of a sad day, as unfortunately, I'm sure you probably heard that with the passing of Ozzy Osbourne.
I did. Yesterday was Theo from the Cosby Show. It's not a good week.
I know it's just amazing. I feel like the past few years, a lot of great actors, musicians that they're just really dropping like flies. I don't know like what's going on here.
Well, on that happy note, come to TerrifiCon before more of them do. No, that's not. Yeah, it's not. It's never a great moment when someone passes away, but yeah, it does seem to be taking its toll on our entertainment industry in the last couple of months, years.
Yeah,
Like,
and I agree. And that's what I really like about with your convention. Like it has a really great mixture of differs.
yeah, there's something for everybody. I try to get stuff for new fans, older fans, middle of the road fans. Something for everybody. That's the secret sauce.
Yeah, because for this year, this marks 10 years since you started Terrificon, right?
10 years at the Mohegan Sun. I had done comic book conventions prior to that, 3 years before that. So this will be my 13th year at producing comic convention. 10 years of Terrificon at Mohegan Sun. So yeah, that's
Okay, yeah, because I remember the first time I went there was I'm blanking. I think it was 2014 or 2015. Yeah, it was 2014 and 2015 at Mohegan.
2015 was at Mohegan. 2014 was at Bridgeport, Connecticut, down the street.
Okay, yeah, then was 2015 because I remember it was Mohegan, though I think it was in a different area than
It
where you have it
was.
currently.
Yeah, where we have it currently wasn't even yet. We were at the convention center, the Sky Convention Center, which is at Mohegan Sun in Uncasville, Connecticut. It's a smaller convention room. That's where I do my CT GamerCon every March. Then in 2018, they expanded and they built a massive, cavernous, 300,000 square foot exposition center. And that's where we took Terrificon to the next level. And in 2018, we moved over to the other side of Mohegan Sun, and we've been there for the last 7 years now. So,
Yeah, I know it's impressive how much this convention has really grown. Because I think for the first time I went there, that was when I first met Kevin Conroy.
yep, he was the first year. Kevin Conroy, Kihi Kwan, and who's the third? Oh, John Wesley Shipp, the Flash. There was only three media guests at that first show, and then obviously we've grown a lot since then. We've had Keanu Reeves, we got Haley Bell, uh, Val Kilmer, Kevin Conroy a couple times. Yeah, we've had a lot of folks come through these doors.
Yeah, I know that surprised me. I think last year that you got Keanu Reeves to come by. I mean, it was only for a day, but still, like it was so like last minute. I think like
It was last minute. It was literally Tuesday, and the show was Thursday. We started putting it together. So within 48 hours, I had to figure out the whole protocol, how we were going to do, the lines, how we were going to meet him, his schedule, because he was on a short schedule. He was only there from 11 to 2. So we were trying to figure out the best way possible for fans to get a chance to meet him. And it worked out. It worked out.
that it did. So you said that you started these conventions even before settling at Mohegan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I tried doing 1 day shows, and I did 1 day at a Marriott hotel, and got 3,000 people to show up. And we had movie actors, we had comic book people, and that was pretty impressive. So then I did it again the next year to see if the first year wasn't a fluke, and there was 5,000 people that showed up, which was great. And the fire marshal also showed up along with the police department, and they threw us out because they said it was way over capacity for a place that wasn't designed for 5,000 people. So then the following year, I went to a hockey arena that also had rock concerts and circuses and ice cap, all that stuff. And we got 13,000, 14,000 people like that. Outgrew that in 1 year. And then Mohegan Sun called, and then we've been with her, ever since then for 10 years now. So yeah, it's been something watching the sucker grow from a 1 day show to, you know what? If I could, I would have done a 4 day show this year because there's so many logistics and getting people in and out. 4 day might be the way to go soon. Let's see.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of other conventions do that, like Connecticut or in New York or San
Yes.
Diego.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's a lot. I mean, think about it. 4 days. That really means Wednesday, because that's when all the vendors would have to load in, and you'd have to get the guests to fly in for Wednesday, so they'd be ready to go on Thursday. But it does give you a wider range of programming. I could do more panels. I could do more signings, more photo ops, more opportunities. I could rotate the guests out. Could be there on Thursday and Friday, and then some guests could be there Saturday and Sunday. So it does offer you a wider range of possibilities by doing a 4 day show. So maybe that's where I'm headed next. 4 days.
Yeah, it makes sense. Especially it helps for Fridays if anyone for a good portion of people that do come by that can make it for the whole day.
Yeah, Friday I always thought was a unusual day because it's a work day for a lot of folks. They're at their job, and to come home at like 4 or 5 o'clock and then shower, put some clothes on, and change your outfit, and then run out to a comic book show. It's a lot, but I do stay up until 8 o'clock on Friday night. But we do get a big crowd. I mean, a lot bigger than I would expect, and a lot of the big hardcore comic book fans come in on Friday because they like to wheel and deal and see what books are out because they're afraid that they're going to be picked over if they wait today. So they want to be there right on the day it starts on Friday, and they get the best chance to get those grails that they're looking for to finish their collections.
Oh yeah, especially with meeting certain people. Like I remember with Jim Lee, like his line was huge.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think there's still people waiting in that line. That was insane. I did not expect. I mean, I knew Mr. Lee was popular and we were going to get a good turnout, but the amount of people that came to see Jim Lee was just it was incredible. I mean, he was there all day though. I mean, he got there and he didn't end till the door shut. So then the next day we brought in Charlie Cox from Daredevil. So it was like back to back big deals. Big stars.
Oh yeah, I bet. So so what made you decide to host these conventions?
Well, you can't see here. You can get a kind of a hint of it behind me, but the rest of the room is like hoarder central. I'm a huge comic book fan ever since I was 4. Even before I could read, I would just look at it. I would draw. I went to work at Marvel Comics. Went to school for design and illustration. Got a degree in it. Uh, Became a commercial artist. Became an art director for marketing and advertising. But I always had that love for comic books. So when the opportunity arose to marry my marketing and trade show skills or talent with something I really liked, which are comic books and movies, it was a match made in heaven. So that's what got me started on it. And as much as I complain, and much as I yell and you know swear at the moon about the things I have to do behind the scenes, it is the best job I'll ever have. I always tell people that, I'll never top this one, So that's what gets me up every day. As much as I go to bed at 2 or 3 in the morning and I'm exhausted, it's fun. It's more fun than I can describe to you.
Oh, I bet. I imagine it's probably a headache trying all these different kinds of guests. I mean, I think Ray told me like reaching out to England and
Yeah. I'm all over the world on time schedules. I'm working with folks over in England. I'm working with folks in California. So that means my time here in Connecticut will start. Let's see, there's a 5 hour time difference between us and London. And then there's a 3 hour time difference between us and California. So my day could be like 5 in the morning, I think, 4 in the morning to about almost 10 at night, just fielding emails and phone calls and getting flights done and rides and hotel stays and all that stuff. All the logistic stuff that the fans don't see. They don't know a lot of the behind the scenes uh, magic here, I guess you can call it.
yeah, I imagine a lot of it's contacting like their managers and stuff.
Yeah, managers, assistants, helpers. Yeah, there's a lot of that, and that's just for the actor side. Then the comic book creators, there's a whole other world of that too, which is just as complicated, but managed to get it all together somehow. Somehow.
No, that's great. I mean, I guess who is your favorite guest that you've gotten to come to TerrifiCon so far?
After 10 years, or let's see, my favorite guest, my favorite. Well, a lot of the folks that are coming back this year are there for selfish reasons because I've always enjoyed them as guests. And there, we got Kihi Kwan, Academy Award winner. My friend Key is coming back. He was with us in 2015. He's coming back 10 years later, and a lot's changed for him and I. We joke about that. So he's coming back. He's one of my all time favorites. John Wesley Splash was the first guest I ever had at my other conventions when I was doing one day ones. And he's just a great guy. And he's been with us like 6 times, I think, over 13 years because the fans love him. I love him. He's just terrific. So that's when I think of the media guests. Michael Cutlitz is another great guy that I'm bringing in. Those are probably my favorite. Kevin Conroy was also a great one there. God rest his soul. And then for comic book wise, I really enjoy having Howard Chaykin, Chris Claremont, Jerry Ordway's there every year. Paul Kupperberg's there every year. Those are like local guys that I've just grown to know over the last 15 years or so. Um, yeah, I mean, I have a lot actually. I can't really narrow it down to one person because they're all fun. Some are hysterical, like Jonathan Frakes is like one of the funniest people I've ever met. He was great. Some of them had great stories, like the late Neil Adams, the comic book artist. He had fantastic stories about the industry. Uh, yeah, I mean, it depends on who you're talking about because each one. Charlie Cox is a great guy. He was very great with the fans. He was a wonderful person to deal with. Um, yeah, the door's always open. I mean, all these people are more than welcome to come back. Keanu was great. I mean, I can't knock him. He was only here for a couple hours, but he was one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. Let alone just doing this. Uh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that was also a concert, right? Or he performed.
He was doing a concert down the road, and that's what made him in the area. And he also writes a comic book that my friend Ron Garney illustrates. And I said to Ron as a joke, "Why don't you call your good buddy Keanu up and he see if he'll come down?" And he did. And I was shocked as anybody else when he said he would come down, and he showed up. So, yeah, I mean, don't ever say no. Don't ever be afraid to ask for anything because you never know. You might actually hear yes. So if you don't ask, the answer is always going to be no. If you ask, it might be yes. So that's something to remember.
That is very true.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. So then, any chance you might spill some news on any other surprises coming up for
Well,
this upcoming year?
it's only 2 weeks away, so I mean, I think I've emptied out my bag of tricks at this point. But you never know. I mean, I send emails out to people I know that are in comics and in entertainment, and depends on people's schedules if they could squeeze it in. Because I think I've almost surprised every year. I think I pull something out at the last minute and say, "Hey, look who's coming," and it mind blows people. I think I remember Henry Winkler was like just weeks before the show when he was here a couple years ago, and Humana was 2 days before the show. I don't think they've ever been that close. Key Kwan was just last week, so it's about 3 weeks before the show. I brought him back. Um, I don't know. You just have to wait and see. But I think I'm pretty much done this year. I think I'm done. You know.
Oh, I gotcha. But hey, I'm surprised glad he got at least one to two actors from the newest Superman movie as well.
Yeah, that's something. There's another actor that I've been trying to get for years, but his schedule never lines up. It's this David Desmalchin. You know him when you see him because he's in everything. He was in Late Night with the Devil. He was the star of that one, but he's been in everything from Dune to Blade Runner to, oh my goodness gracious, the Ant-Man movies. He was in those movies as well. Very talented guy. He was in Dark Knight. Well, trying to get him here, but we'll see about that. But no, I'm just trying to think. Superman. You know what it is. I kind of look ahead at what movie's coming out, and you don't know what's going to be a hit or a bomb really nowadays. And I try to think a year ahead of time, and I look at the production schedules, and I go, I'm going to put my money down on that racehorse. I'm going to think that one's going to come through and be the winner. and then you book the guests, and you live in hope that it does turn out to be a good gamble, and that is a big movie. And with the Superman movie, it's turned out to be pretty well received, so we're good to have that. So we'll see. We'll see how people like it. I mean, obviously, it's making good money at the box office, and I've already looked at the pre-orders for photo ops, so I can tell that a lot of the fans want to meet the guest as well from that picture. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So I guess point, I guess, what do you think of, I guess, how with comic book media, when with the movies and shows currently, like, what do you think about them compared to like when you were a kid?
Whoa, no, well, that's like fire compared to like just rubbing two sticks together, a forest fire. It's night and day. When I was a kid, there was a show on called The Electric Company, which is on PBS, which was like a an after school thing for kids to learn how to read and to write. And one of the things they had on that show was Spider Man, but he never spoke. It was just a guy in a Spider Man suit, and he would talk with balloons. He'd point up to his head, and you'd see the word balloon. And it was aimed at obviously younger folks to try to encourage them to be readers. In fact, Morgan Freeman, the great Morgan Freeman, was on that show, and his name of his character was called Easy Reader. And he'd walk around with books and saying, "This book is easy to read." And they even made a Marvel comic based on it called Spidey Super Stories. But that's all we kind of had. I had reruns of old Marvel cartoons from the 60s that were horribly illustrated. They were just terrible. And then there was or horribly animated, because what they did, they used to cut out the actual artwork, the Jack Kirby artwork, and they would just move it under the camera because they were so cheap. They would just say, "Oh, look, it's moving, it's animated," but it was just you'd have to see it to believe it. It was bad.
Huh.
Uh, then we had the Super Friends. I mean, I had like all the cartoons you guys might have watched in reruns on whatever stuff's at nowadays or download. But we only had the Hulk. We had Lou Ferrigno in green body paint. We had Flash Gordon in the movie theaters. If it wasn't for Christopher Reeve as Superman, we really didn't have much. There wasn't a lot of stuff. There was Wonder Woman. But no, the stuff that even the bad movies that people consider bad nowadays, the superhero comic book movies, they go, "Oh, that movie was horrible." Those are a million times better than the stuff I had to watch. I mean, I really had to watch some really bad superhero TV stuff back in the 70s. Spider-Man that just had a rope and a net and his web on the outside, and for some reason he had a utility belt. That bugged the heck out of me, I'll tell you that. And they were bad. I mean, if you ever get a chance to see them, you just go, "Oh my!" And there was a Captain America movie with Red Brown. Now Red Brown's a great guy, but the movies were just atrocious. I mean, he's got a transparent shield. He drives a motorcycle, and the action scenes look like I don't know what, like a sloth convention. They're so slow moving. It's not funny. I mean, you see it now. There's a chase with a hang glider motorcycle. It must go on for about 10 minutes, and it's like watching paint dry. It's one of the worst things ever filmed. But yeah, compared to that, what's the worst movie people jump on? I'll take the Eternals any day as opposed to watching some of those movies from the 70s. So yeah.
Yeah, it's far marvelous come, because I feel like by the time I think when Blade and between Blade, X-Men, and Spider-Man, that's when things really took off, for at least for Marvel in the movies.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. So I remember watching those, and the X-Men movie too. When that came out, I was like, "Wow, what is this?" And I think Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, that's the one where it really kicked in. Because I saw the X-Men movie. It was okay. It wasn't like great, but it was better than what we had. And I wasn't a big Blade fan. But when Tobey Maguire came out in Spider-Man, I was like, "Oh, this is it, man. This is they hit the nail on the head." And then it was a lull until Iron Man came about. Because Iron Man, honestly, anybody that's old school knows Iron Man was like a D class hero in the comics, a C class maybe. He was not the image of the Marvel universe. It was always Spider Man, the Hulk, the Fantastic Four, Wolverine. Those were the highlights. Those were the all stars. Iron Man was like interleague stuff, you know. But to the world and the movies now, he's the biggest of the Marvel universe. I think a cinematic universe, you know. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm curious of what's going to happen for with the at least after the upcoming Fantastic Four movie and whatever is
Secret
left of.
Wars.
Yeah.
I think they're just gonna not reboot everything. I think they're just gonna relaunch it all with newer actors and Same characters, but just new actors playing them in new adventures. Hey, man, they do that in comic books all the time. I can't tell you how much DC has relaunched their comic book universe, and Marvel's done it as well. So it's not a shock for me, anyway, as a comic book fan, just to realize that movies are just going to recycle it and change up. They've what 7 Batmans already, 5 or 6 Supermans, 3 or 4 Spider-Mans already. I mean, it's just that's just the way things go.
I agree. Yeah, that's why to me with this recent Super movie, I have no problem with the other characters of the Just Game because the guy has a movie or a show every decade or so.
Yeah,
Decade.
yeah. There's always a Superman since the '40s, since the radio, since the '50s, the cartoons in the '60s, then the Super Friends, then the Christopher Reeve. Yeah, it never stops. There's always a Superman for every generation. Just like there's a Doctor Who, just like there's a James Bond, just like there's a Batman. It's just it's part of life now. It's like, of course, there's a new Superman. Of course, there's a new James Bond. That's just the way things go.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad so far they're not doing a rebooted origin of Batman or Superman. Because
No,
we
we all
get
know.
it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I think more people know how Batman and Superman came to be than they do the Declaration of Independence. You know what I'm saying? It's more ingrained in the human or the American psyche or the world psyche than anything else. I mean, it's fanatical. I see Bat-shirts all over the world. I see people with the Superman logo and like parts where they don't even have running water. Sometimes you're like, are you sure this is really something you want to get into? Why don't you guys like work on some other stuff than wearing a Batman hat? But it's strange how much it's spread over the years.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's like ever since I was a kid, like there was always something with Batman between the '90s animated series, the movies at the time.
Yeah, it always sells. I was at a comic shop today dropping off TerrifiCON tickets, and we were talking about that because I was looking at all the McFarlane Batman toys, and there's all types. There's one's based on comics, one's based on cartoons, one based on the animated series, one just fantasy ones, and literally a table full of Batman in all different sizes and colors. And he says Batman sells. Folks always want to see Batman, and it's true. I mean, there's something about that character that just resonates with everybody. Not so much Spider-Man. I don't see a lot of different Spider-Man variants, but Batman, my God, there's a Batman for every day of the year, I think. You know?
Oh yeah, because last year I did like a whole top 24 Batsuits thing. It was like 12 of the best and 12 of the worst.
Worst, yeah. What was the worst one?
Let's see. You're gonna laugh at this, but what
Wow.
ranked the worst? It at the top of the worst. It was not George Clooney suits. It was
Oh,
close.
really?
It was
Really?
It was close, but oddly, from what everyone voted for, at the top was I want to say it was yeah, I think it was the first 1940s serial looking suit.
Oh, with the really big dopey ears and the little cape that he just kind of got out of the closet. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Batman, he wasn't in the best physical condition, if I recall. He was kind of like me if I wore a suit. Little too much bat donuts, I think, is what he had. Yeah.
yeah, both of those different suits made up to the top two. One that had like the mismatched ears, and one that had like the small little devil like ears.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. I've seen those. I probably own those somewhere around this house. Because, like I said, we used to watch anything that had comic book related stuff. We'd sit through, even if it was horrible.
I didn't know there was those serials because I figured the first live
Oh, yeah.
action was Adam West.
No, 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 no. I knew about those serials too, and there's a Superman serial as well. I think it's Superman meets the Mole Man with Kirk Allen as Superman. So, go look for that one. That's a classic.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because for George Clooney's suit, yeah, that made number three, but not the main one. I guess apparently people disliked the
that blue
winter.
one. Yeah, the winter one at the end. Yeah, when he fought Mister Freeze, that bluish silver thing. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty bad.
I thought that was a better looking one than the main suit with the bat nipples and everything.
Well, yeah, that's gone. That's not coming back anytime soon. I don't know if I like the last one, the Batman movie with Pattinson. I don't know if I like that suit too much because the bat was supposed to be the gun that killed his parents, like molded into the shape of a bat. I think that was the lore. They never said it in the movie, but I think with the backstory to that, it was okay. You
Yeah,
know.
because it was just pretty much the batarang he used.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I was like, that's not really a bat, you know. And the Christian Bale ones, they started out all right, but towards the end, you couldn't even see any bat. It was just like a black suit. I was like, all right, whatever. That's what you're going with. And then the Ben Affleck was not that well done. It was more like a Michelin tire guy. He looked really big in that thing, like could be Batman. I don't know what was going on there. So,
Yeah, I think some of those were not my favorite. I think if I had to choose I think the one I liked the most was probably between the Dark Knight Returns armored one or the Justice League tactical suit.
yeah, I think I see what they were going with. I think they were trying to get that Frank Miller look, that big Batman Dark Knight Returns bulky guy. I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah, Powell, I don't know, it just looked too, I don't know, too
Yeah.
wide to me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a shame though, because I always thought Affleck would have been a good Batman. Like if he had a better script and better opportunities. You know.
Yeah, though I'd be curious to see what would have been like for the original the Batman movie or whatever it's gonna be called, where with him and Deathstroke, like
That was the original idea. And then they just went out the window and got the Riddler, which I don't even think is the Riddler. I mean, I know that's what they call them, but yeah, it was a little over the top. I don't remember the Riddler killing people with like a hammer or a carpet tacker. It was a little too much. Or putting bombs in. Yeah, no, I don't know who that was. You could call him the Riddler, but that was over the top.
it was different.
It
Yeah,
was
I mean,
different.
though I think with this setup, this could provide a very interesting hush
Yeah, if
potential.
you're gonna go that, yeah, it was more like the Hush comic and the Long Dark or the Long Halloween, the Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale. There was a lot of elements of that in there, uh, especially with the whole gangster stuff going on behind the scenes. And then he had the Penguin show, which again was like the Sopranos meets Gotham City.
Pretty
Okay,
much.
it was good, but I was like, it's a little too much, a little too much, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I did. It may
It's
have gone.
good, but not my cup of tea. That's all.
Yeah, it's just amazing what they're doing with highlighting the bad guys.
Yeah, yeah. That's always been like when the Joker has his own movies and the Penguin's got his own show. Is the Green Goblin gonna have his own show? I don't know. Where are
Well,
we gonna?
I mean, we're getting a Clayface movie next year.
I saw that and I was thinking, okay, I guess I don't know who's asking for it, but I'll have to. I'll buy a ticket. I'll be there opening night, like I am with all the rest of the stuff. But
At least it fits with the theme for with James Gunn's chapter.
yeah, we'll see what Gunn's got up his sleeve. And I keep thinking he's just going to somehow make a live action version of the Saturday morning cartoons. That's where we're going with the crypto and stuff. I think it's going to be more full, brighter. It'll be like the Legion of Doom's headquarters is going to come up out of the swamp. I'm pretty sure that's happening sooner or later.
Oh yeah, I can just picture that.
Well, they had the Hall of Justice right out of the Super Friends. I was like, hey, I know that place. It's been around since I was a kid.
Yeah, I'm glad they actually used. I think that was like the actual building that's in Cincinnati. I think, right?
Yeah, yeah, it is. It was like an old train station at one point. Yeah. So, but it was cool to see, though. It was cool.
Yeah, that's why. But when you point out with the Batman suit, that's why I feel with what they're doing with Batman and Superman, with reinventing them, they're just mixing in like different eras of suits from the comics, or I would say even some video games. It kind of works, but I don't know. I feel like it's I don't know. I wouldn't go with just mix and matching things. I would say just
Yeah,
stick with something somewhat classic.
yeah. I like the Keaton suit. I was like happy that they used it again in Batman Returns, and then even a little bit for Batman Forever, and then they kind of get a little out of control with the Batman Robin movie. But Superman suit as well. I mean, I don't know why they had to tamper with the basic Superman suit. I mean, the S they changed it up, I guess, but I thought at the end they were going to go for the traditional S, but it didn't happen. I thought he'd get a new costume at the end. But
Yeah, I mean, I do like that it's a Kingdom Come symbol pretty much because
yeah,
I mean the Crisis crossover had a variant with the yellow backgrounds instead of
yeah, yeah.
black.
Brandon Ralph wore that on the CW shows that when they had their Crisis, and he was Superman. He had the black Alex Ross version. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, but I do think the suit could be a little bit adjusted. Like, I don't know, man, I could do without the collar, maybe a little bit more
The
full.
collars, yeah, and there's big seams on the sides. It was like, yeah, okay, I guess looked like a football uniform in a way.
Yeah, that's true, but we'll see what happens with the sequels. But yeah, for Pattinson's best suit, I think that was in the middle of the best suits.
Okay, all right, we'll see. You should do a top 10 Superman suits. You don't think there's a lot, but there's variations on it.
Yeah, for Superman, I went with the actors just because I felt like there wasn't. I wouldn't, at least in media, I didn't see too many variants. It's just usually.
Well, the Christopher Reeve one's probably the best, and then you've got, I don't know, maybe I like the one that Tyler Hoechlin, who's coming to Terrificon. So I like the one he had on the CW show. I didn't like the Brendan Ralph one because the S was so small in the center of his outfit. And he was such a big guy. It just looked weird. It looked out of portions. And the Dean Cain one is massive. If you ever watch that show, that S is like his entire front of shirt is the giant S. The new one, yeah, it's balanced. Yeah. And then I didn't like the Cavill one. I just didn't care for the colors. I thought it was very muted. Didn't look right at all. It was like, oh,
Not,
okay.
not even the Justice League one or the
The
colored.
black suit, the when they came back and when he's no, no. Oh, the colorized version when they actually brightened it up. I've seen that. They actually went in there and they turned it into more of a cyan blue, like the comics. That's so bad. But yeah, not a big Cavill fan.
Yeah, although I do feel like kind of like Affleck, I feel like Cavill, like if under a different direction, I feel like he would have
Yeah,
really shined
a
as
better,
Superman too.
yeah, a different storyline. Yeah, he could. It's not the guy. I mean, he's a very competent actor. I've seen him in other stuff, obviously, but yeah, those I there's very little I like about the Man of Steel or the Batman versus Superman film. Oh, enough
Yeah,
said.
yeah, that's why when I did this year, when I'm doing like with the live action movies. That's why I had the all the DCU this or Snyderverse, all that
Mhm.
separate.
Yeah, it is its own separate thing. It is. It's like if I was in a comic shop, that would be like the weird mini series you don't get. It's like, yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want
Next,
that.
we're going to be starting a second round. That's going to be with pretty much every other DC movie, from the classics to this movie.
You got to do the Swamp Thing too,
Yep.
and the Swamp Thing Returns, Return of the Swamp Thing, that movie. Okay.
Yep, that's gonna be out of there. The DC Vertigo movie, since it's under
Yeah.
that
You gonna
banner.
do? You gonna do Catwoman?
Yep, even that
I've
one.
never sat through that. I've seen snippets of it. I've never sat through it.
Yeah, I've seen most a couple times. Think back when it would air like on AMC or something. It's it's just basically the Michelle Pfeiffer just put in just some different character to become a Catwoman, I guess.
Oh, they don't mention Max Shrek. Is there ties to that story or not really? Or she's
No,
just well,
no, it
mousy
just
secretary type like she was in the Batman Returns.
no, it's just some other girl, not Selena Kyle, just some
Oh,
other.
it's not Selena Kyle?
No, it was just I forgot the
Oh,
character's name, but it was just some other girl that worked for a company that
really?
was dealing with some shitty things.
Huh. I never knew that. See, I never watched the movie. I always thought it was just a
Wait, hold
variation.
on. Yeah, that was basically it. I think she was sort of, but they had a similar scene where she was sort of gets killed, but then got revived
With the cats.
with
Yeah.
the cats, and but then they definitely really emphasize her thing with cats, like asking for a saucer of milk and Siri crazy over catnip or something,
Are you
or
serious? That's in the movie?
yes.
Oh wow. Well, I'm not missing anything. I don't even think that I'll put that in the background. Lots of times I'm doing Terrificon work on my computer. I'll have the TV on and I kind of half watch a movie. I don't think I'm gonna half watch that one.
I know it's like she walks in with her costume,
Hmm.
goes into a bar, and asks for
A saucer of milk.
yeah.
No. And that costume's all torn up, wasn't it? If I recall, wasn't it all like ripped and tattered?
No, it was not really ripped
Was
and
it?
tattered.
Oh, I thought it
It
was
was
like ripped up or something. Yeah.
nah. It's just a very revealing costume from the get go.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it
Hmm.
was a different take, but yeah, another example where I feel like under different direction, Halle Berry, I feel like she really could have done
Well,
well.
yeah, she's another great actress. I mean, she's won an Academy Award and such, so it's not. You always have to step back and look and go, what was going on behind the scenes? What was the story? What was the director doing? Don't blame the actor all the time.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's all about with the director, the writing. You know that's a factor as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because for the best suits, I wanted you to guess like what do you think would be your top three, and that's over everything, comics,
The
movies.
Batman suits.
Yeah,
Best Batman suit. Oh, in comics, you're counting that too, so it's not just live action ones.
yeah. For the top three, there's one of each. One for comic, one for live action, and let's
All
see.
right. The best Batman suit is the one that Neil Adams drew in the 70s that they used for like Jim Aparo and all that stuff. Very tall, athletic, lanky Batman, and the cape kind of drapes over the shoulders and almost like a peak almost, and they put the yellow bat behind it. Uh, I like one that people aren't going to like at all. I don't know if this counts because I'm veering back into comics. The Kelly Jones creepy giant Batman ears like a vampire. I love Kelly Jones artwork. I've been trying to get him to come to TerrifiCON. I love that guy's work. That's one of my favorite creepy Batman suits. And in a comic, real quick, the Frank Miller one, the one where he's all fat and big. But movie wise, live action version, I never liked the Adam West one. I'm gonna say the Michael Keaton 1989 Batman suit's my favorite one out of all of them. Even though he can't move his neck, it's still good. But that's it. I think I don't know. I made up my own categories. I think so. I guess one is the Neil Adams one. Two would be Michael Keaton. I guess if you want to just do it from different things. And then the Mego Batman I had when I was 9 years old from the 70s, which I think I have somewhere around here. I have a lot of stuff here. So.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah, it's crazy.
quite the collection.
Well, it's when I'm bored, I just start reading stuff. I'm on some other podcast, and I'll just sit there and start reading a comic book right in the show. They're like, "What are you doing?" I go, "Not paying attention." That's for sure. Here's my Green Lantern collection up here. I've got my Captain America stuff over here, and I have a million and one omnibuses that I promise I'm going to read someday. Sure, I will. When there's another pandemic, I'll sit through them all.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, you picked a few that definitely made the overall top 12 best list. Michael Keaton, Neil Adams, that was definitely up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not so much Frank Miller though. That
Really?
yeah, that was more in the middle.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, what made the top three was actually the Dark Knight suit, Batman Beyond, and Jim Lee.
Really? Oh, well, Jim Lee's great too. They like the Dark Knight movie ones? Really?
Yeah, although a lot of people are commenting that they prefer the Batman Begins suit more.
I thought that was closer to the comics. Like I said, by the time it evolved into the last Batman, Dark Knight Rises, nah, not so much.
I
It
feel,
was almost like a motorcycle helmet at the end. It was really big, you know?
yeah, I feel like by the time with Rises, there should have been like a suit that combined like the first two together.
Yeah, yeah. Second one wasn't bad. Now they got me thinking about that. Yeah, all right. It is what it is. It
Though
is what it is.
yeah, though it's funny that think about it, with the live action actors when they get their second suits, it's more teched out, whereas with the ones it has a more I don't know, very
Basic organic shape. Yeah, like Captain America, obviously the first Avenger was World War II, so they had to make it look like an army surplus outfit. But there was one he had in Age of Ultron was ugly as hell. I couldn't stand that one. I mean, it was just too much. And then they kind of went back to the old fashioned one in Endgame. They kind of went back to the older one. The best suit he had was the Winter Soldier one, which was just like a blue with a silver star. Had no mat. He had a mask on it. That one too. Yeah, but
Yeah, I definitely like that one. Though I
that
think my
was
least favorite was from the first Avengers movie.
that was the worst with that helmet. Oh my god. Yeah, I try not to think about that costume. It was bad. It was really bad. That is the worst Captain American suit with those weird ears and the little cowl. Yeah, no, not good. Not good at all. Not good. Nope.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm glad that halfway through the movie he takes the helmet off.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, you gave me an idea or something because when you said that with the MCU they might do like not necessarily a reboot, I guess, or
A relaunch,
a
maybe.
relaunch.
Yeah, a
That makes
reset. A reset. That's a better word.
yeah that makes you wonder like would that entail to recast Iron Man
Oh
and
yeah. Oh yeah. I think every single of them would be recast. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think at the end of the Secret Wars movie, what you're going to see is that the movies we've watched are just one little like the multiverse. That's just one little pocket universe that's done, and then it's a new one opens up. So because that's what Hickman did with Franklin Richards and the Fantastic Four. He made like little multiverses, little worlds. I think that's what they're going to do.
yeah I just hope for Secret Wars it'd be something kind of like from the '90s Spider-Man show because I think that was the first time I ever
That was
saw.
a good one. Yeah. No. Yeah. No, that was a good interpretation of it when they all fought each other. You just want to see a giant. I mean, it's just a giant battle royal. It's just a big wrestling match for this comic book fans. It's like when I go see King Kong versus Godzilla. The movies are dumb, but the fact that there's a King Kong Godzilla movie not once but twice, and the third one's coming. That's awesome. The fact that you're going to see a movie where Doctor Doom and the Fantastic Four are fighting the Avengers. It's like,
Yeah, I know it's crazy, and even having RDJ as Doctor Doom,
yeah.
that's gonna be crazy.
Well, I think it's going to be a multiverse thing that across one of the portals, and they'll think it's a reborn Tony Stark, resurrected to save the day, and he turns out to be the guy who's going to wipe you out. So it's like you didn't see that coming. I think that's where they're going with that one. But
Yeah. Plus, I wonder if they're
Mr.
gonna do like a dark, dark Avengers kind of vibe if they able to bring in like any of the other actors like Chris Evans, like to be like I forgot well like there because I remember there was like the Captain or some evil version of
Oh, the Hydra cap. Yeah, the one that came out a couple years ago in the Secret Empire.
yeah.
Well, maybe we'll see. Yeah, well, hey, I don't get paid to write the movies. I just buy a ticket. That's it. That's the difference between it. I'm on the other side of the screen. I'm not behind it. I'm over there eating my popcorn, watching everything. So we'll see. We'll
Yep.
see.
Oh, looks like a comment from Velvet Joker. So far,
Yes.
so far from Super Friends.
Well, it is and it isn't. I actually went back and started watching those Super Friends cartoons because streaming on Amazon now, and some of them are hokey, but some of them are just as good as any comic. Some are better than the movies I've watched. So I just saw one last night where these villains from the Phantom Zone escaped, and they were taking the Super Friends or the Justice League and throwing them in the Phantom Zone, and there was some cool ideas in that episode. They even have a Death of Superman episode that happened before the comic book Death of Superman in the 80s. It was on like 1983 or 84. Superman dies from kryptonite poisoning, and it's a good one actually. So yeah, there's a lot of buried treasures out there in old cartoons. Like you said, that Spider-Man one from the 90s.
Yeah, because I just loved watching that show when I was a kid. Kid seeing through
That's
like
great. Yeah.
that was pretty much like an MCU before it was even an idea.
Yeah, I wasn't the last episode with Stan Lee, and he goes through all the multiverse of Spider-Mans, and he meets everybody. Is that the last one? I remember watching that one.
Oh yeah, that's just crazy. Like how the whole purpose of Secret Wars in that show was just for the Beyonder to
That's right.
find the right Spider-Man to help him deal with the crisis with Spider Carnage, and then doing.
Yeah, yeah, I remember it now. It's coming back. It's been a while since I watched it, but I did see it. I think they're all on Disney Plus. So if anybody wants to go see what we're talking about, you can go back and watch the old '90s Spider-Man.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, and I think it was because one of the Spider-Man variants, one of them was just like an actor that plays him. So I feel like that was a nice fourth wall breaking.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember that too. You know what? I remember Topher Grace when he played Venom in Spider-Man 3. It wasn't that bad because I mean, compared to the Tom Hardy Venom movies, I don't think anyone's really gotten that character just right yet. You know, they're close, but then they went wacky. Tom Hardy went like off the wall. You
I
know,
mean, yeah, a little too comical because yeah, it's
exactly. Yeah.
because it's kind of weird how they managed to do Venom's story, at least in the first movie, almost perfectly, but without Spider-Man in the
Right. Right.
formula.
And then the second one was just horrible with Woody Harrelson as Carnage. I remember sitting there, what is this? And then the third one, my goodness gracious, I don't know what the movie was about with the horse, and it
I
was.
didn't bother even seeing that one.
I see everything in the theaters, no matter how bad, except for Catwoman. I go to all this stuff, and it was painful. I even sat through Craven the Hunter, which in retrospect was better than Madam Web, which I saw that in the theaters as well. So
I would say for Craven and Venom, the best versions I think I've seen of them would be from the Marvel Spider-Man 2 video game.
yeah, I played those two. Was that the one with was the guy who was like Doctor Light? I can't think of his name right now, but I can't think of it. You know what I'm saying? He's like a reverse image. What's the bad guy's name? He's like a gangster type, but I can't think of the name.
Trying to think back.
He's like a negative version. I don't think he's called Mr.
Oh,
Negative.
Mr. Negative.
It is Mr. Negative. Okay, I was gonna say I think it's Mr. Negative. That was cool in a weird way, but I played that video game and stuff. I can't wait for the Spider-Verse #3 to come out. And it seems like I'm gonna have to wait till 2027 to see what happened. By that time, I don't think I'll even remember what happened.
Yeah,
It's
that's what bothered me. How like for this, the second movie was great, but then just ends on a cliffhanger. I'm
It
just like,
does, yeah, yeah. If you didn't have the cliffhanger ready to go the next year or the next within 2 years, why did you do that? You know?
yeah. Though I'm happy they brought in like Josh Keaton back, and let's see, they brought in Yuri Lowenthal to voice their, as well as to voice their Spider-Man. Seeing all the variants from the comics, movies, shows, there is a lot of passion in that one. Just
Yeah,
God,
there is.
it's so much unique animation.
I keep thinking back. They offered me the fellow that played Peter B. Parker, the voice actor. He was in Jurassic World. He was also on a show called The New Girl. And
Oh
I
yeah,
remember, yeah, they offered him to me, and I passed on him at the time. And then, Spider Verse came out. And it was a big deal. I was like, darn it, that's one I didn't buy. I didn't put my money on the right horse on that one. I turned that guy down. So, oops,
ah, well,
oops.
there's next time.
There's next time, but I remember them offering him to me, and I'm like, I don't know, why do I want this guy? And then when I saw the movie, I go, he was the best part of the movie. I'm like, could have had him.
Yeah, and that's right, Velvet. Yeah, the visuals in that movie were amazing.
They were, yes, sir, they were.
Yeah, it's just like I didn't bother to see Craven the Hunter because what they did in Spider-Man 2 video game, it was just like so impressive with Craven, like how he looks so imposing, like
Yeah,
and how like he's just. I kind of like the twist that he's not trying to hunt Spider-Man initially, just look for other villains to fight because he's looking for someone that's willing to kill him.
I always thought Jason Momoa would have been a great Craven before he got to be Lobo now, and then oh man, I always thought he had the build for it. But that Aaron Taylor, whatever his name, he did a good job. They just didn't know what to do with it. They didn't want to make him the bad guy, but I'm like, he is a bad guy. Oh no, he's here to protect the animals. I'm like, yeah, you got to pick one. Pick a lane, buddy. Pick a lane. You know.
Yeah, that's one thing I could say for something like with the Penguin. Like he may be the protagonist, but he's still a bad guy.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that one. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm hoping for the Clayface. Like even though he's a tragic character, like
Yeah.
I think they're just trying to make like a horror, more of a horror movie.
No, it'll be interesting. It'll be yeah. I could. There was a Murder in the Wax Museum or something like that in the 50s. I saw as a kid. I'm thinking it's going to be something like that, where the villain got to change his face, or more like a Phantom of the Opera movie. Where there's this scarred, tragic hero behind the scenes who's in love with someone, and you'll we'll have to wait and see. It'll be interesting. I'm sure the makeup effects will be great.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's funny you mentioned watching old stuff because I've been actually watching through some of the old cartoons myself, like between with the a little bit of the '90s Batman, Beyond, even the first The Batman show.
Yeah, I watched that one too. You know what's a good one? Brave and Bold is a great one.
Oh
So
yeah,
that when he would team up with people, that was I like that one a lot.
oh yeah. Just hearing Dietrich Bader does like a great Batman voice.
I'll give you a sneak preview of TerrifiCON 2026. Dietrich Bader is already signed up for that show. No one knows that. You already now you exclusive. You already know one of my guests for next year, and that's how crazy it is. I haven't even done this year's show yet, but I've already got people for the year and the year beyond.
Wow, wow. I mean, that was actually another question I wanted to ask. Is like, how far ahead do you try to get some of these
Uh,
actors?
that's well, Kevin Eastman. I waited 3, maybe 4 years for because he's on a wait list. He doesn't do a lot of shows, so they called. They said, "Hey, you're up." I'm like, "Hey." That was it. Waited a long time for Kevin Eastman. So a lot of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans will be very happy in 3 weeks when they see Kevin Eastman. But it took like 4 years to get him here. Um, Sometimes there's actors. I had Alan Richardson who played Reacher. He was supposed to come, and I can't remember. I think he just got cast in Reacher and he had to go film season 2. And then he was going to come the following year, but there was a writers or actors strike and he couldn't come down. And I mean, sometimes it's like a lot of folks don't get it. When they see an actor cancels a show, it's not because they don't want to come out and meet their fans. Is you got to understand these people work in an industry where there's not a lot of job offers. So literally, when that phone rings, you take that job you really want to earn. Uh, as much as you want to come out and meet your fans and get photo ops and autographs, you also have to remember you got a career and your career's not going to shows and conventions. Your career is being on stage or being in the movies or on TV. So when the opportunity comes up, unfortunately, the conflict and schedule, you're going to use the movie or TV show. This is the way it is.
Yeah, because like even for like De Niro, even someone like Nero's caliber, like he needs to do some work nowadays.
You have to pay your bills, man. It is what it is. I mean, I know people get mad and like, oh, I can't believe he's not coming, but there's a good reason why so and so's not coming. They're making a movie that you're going to go see next year. So, or what TV show?
Yeah, no, no, I get it. Yeah, and that'd be great if we get to see if we get to have Alan Richardson back because he really surprised me through Reacher.
Yeah, no, he was something else. I was booking him at the time. He was just known for Titans. Reacher hadn't come out yet, so that's one of those things I'm telling you about. I signed him in advance, and you go, well, I don't know what this Reacher show is going to be, but I signed this guy from Titans, and because he was Hawk from Hawk and Dove on that show, and yeah, a whole new person identified with this.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, it was interesting to take what he did Hawk, uh, with
Yeah,
Hawk. And I just can't believe they killed him off, but it was
I know that was dark. I was like, no, they're going to save him. Superboy's going to do it, but nah, didn't happen.
yeah. Though oh well, but at least we got Reacher because of that.
Correctamundo. That's true. That's true. Maybe he'll
Yeah,
be in the DCU. They've talked about it. I don't know if he'd make a good Batman. I think he's too big for Batman.
yeah, yeah. Because I mean, I don't know. Plus, I feel like he has a deep voice, but
He does. Yeah.
it's not Batman deep to me. Like
No, it's not. It's not. No.
that's why if I had to pick, I would cast him either bring him back as the new Aquaman if he was interested.
Okay. He played Aquaman on Smallville, so there you go. So
I mean,
first,
Grant Gustin has said that he would love to do back as the Flash for the DCU.
I don't know. I think that would confuse people. I think they wouldn't do it for that reason. They're like, oh, he was on TV. You know. Hmm.
True, but I guess if for Alan instead, if not Aquaman, perhaps like a young Wildcat.
I could see that, like a boxer. Yeah, that would be good. There's a lot of people. I mean, who was I watching the other day? And I said, oh, he would have made a good Mr. Miracle. It was a smaller guy, and I was like, oh, that guy would be great. I can't think of it right now, but you know, there's a lot of people. Oh no, oh, it's not going to be what's Charlemagne that's in everything. Timothy Charlemagne. It's not going to be him as Mr. Miracle. I don't think he'll do a superhero movie. I think he'll keep far enough away from that stuff. You don't want to get stuck in a part for the next 20 years. You know.
Yeah, no, because I heard that for like the Mr. Terrific actor, he's signing in a multi deal.
He was great. He was my favorite, and that's just because his name's Terrific. But I thought he was great in Superman. He was good, and Crypto was good. I'd watch a Crypto movie any day. You know.
Yeah, no, it's great what they done with with the dog and everything. Just yeah, it makes me more excited for Supergirl's movie next year.
Yeah, that'll be cool. I'll be buying a ticket for that.
Yeah, I haven't read the storyline. I think where that
No,
movie is.
the Tom King one. No, I'm gonna pick it up though because he's coming to the show in 2 weeks. So maybe I'll read it before I meet him. Well, I've met him before, but I that particular book. You know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Look, in her comic book origins back like in the 50s, she
Yeah.
was surviving on a piece of Krypton, right?
Yeah, there was she's connected to the Candor. There's Krypton, and then she's off site. She's like in another place, and then she got sent at this time, but her ship got lost, and that's why she's younger than Superman because by the time his ship landed in Smallville, she got where a black hole or wormhole or whatever it got lost. But there's a bunch of different origins for her. She died, and then they had the Matrix thing that was like a I don't know what do you want to call it, like a clone. It adapted. That was in the Peter David run. They did that version of Supergirl. Um, I mean, she's just Clark Kent's cousin. That's the one I know. That's the origin story I know. And then there was the TV show too with Melissa Benoist. I think they picked that up. That she was just Superman's cousin. You know,
Yeah, yeah, it just makes
there's
sense.
a horrible movie too. Don't watch that movie. That's
Yeah, no, yeah, because yeah, I did grow up with most of those movies. My first Superman experience was between a little bit of Lois and Clark and the
oh,
90s
okay,
cartoon.
okay.
Yeah, I actually did rewatch I did watch through the whole series with Dean Cain. And it had a good startup though.
It
It
was
just
fine. Yeah, then it petered out when he got married and goofy. Yeah, I remember.
like I'll always remember that line, "Don't call me Egghead." I'm thinking like this is the last episode of the series, dealing with someone called Egghead.
Hmm. Yeah, it was. It didn't, like I said, didn't get and then a high note. You know,
Yeah, I think just if I remember, I think it would ended where
he got married. They looked into the camera. If I think wasn't it like Tom Bosley or Dave Hill came on as like a weird priest, godlike guy, and just married him off. Isn't that how it ended? They got married. Didn't they just look into the camera and that was the end of it?
I think at the end of it, some baby I guess was dropped on their doorstep.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. That's how it ended. Yeah.
No, but yeah, like first two seasons, it was pretty good.
It was, yeah, and then people get a lot of stuff. The Walking Dead was really good the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, just some shows you just gotta know when to pull the plug.
Yeah, tell me about it. Walking Dead should have ended a while back, but it's still going on. Still going on.
I mean, if the comic's still going on, then
No, the comic's over with. Walking Dead book ended years ago.
oh,
Yeah,
oh,
it's done.
oh, oh. For some reason, I thought back when the show was still on, the comic was still going on as well.
It was for a while, but now the show's technically still on. I mean, you got the Daryl Dixon show, you got the City of the Dead with Negan's character, and I don't even know if they've got more. But when they killed off Carl, it was pretty much the last straw. I'm like, you should have just ended it.
Oh well, yeah, yeah. Just sometimes, yeah. I don't follow too many shows once it gets past like six or seven season, especially when they change characters and
Mm-hmm.
everything, because I feel like I spent I spent my time, investing these characters, and I either kill them off or they just leave the show. Then it's like now I got see all these new guys. Like they're okay, but like
Right, 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 right.
it's just not the same.
No, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah. But I think that's gonna be our time for today.
Okay. I got to get back to work. I'm literally going. I got a text here from somebody. I have to go buy someone's airline flight. So I'm like, oh boy, got to go spend a couple $1,000s, buddy.
Oh boy, yeah, it's a lot of money with getting all these actors in. I imagine.
It is. It is. I don't. I think people are under misunderstanding. They think people show up for free. It doesn't work that way. So I don't know what people think. How they think shows. I knew somebody years ago thought everyone flew out of here on their own dime. No, that's not how it works. So
No,
I support the show because that pays for the show. That pays for next year's show. That pays Rick Bader to be here. So
I gotcha. Well, look, well, this year should be quite the show because I'll definitely be coming by this Saturday myself.
All right. Well, there you go. I've sold one ticket. I'm done. That's $40 I got. Yes.
Yeah, but thank you again for calling the show, and thanks to any of you viewers, especially for Velvet Joker if you're still watching.
All right. Well, I'll see them all in a couple of weeks at TerrifiCON. Remember, right here, August 8th to the 10th. Look at that. Go to TerrifiCON. See? Mohegan Sun.
Yeah, that's right. You can either buy them online or visit to any local comic book stores nearby.
Correct. Correct. They're still there. They're selling fast, though, so don't wait too long.
Sounds good. Catch you all later.